Hi everyone, it's Danny from Apuchee Tarot. Long time no see. I have been gone for years technically, and I wanted to explain why. And I wanted to have a very genuine, down to earth, let's get real. And this has been something that has been very hard for me to do. I feel like one of the things that my channel was originally founded on was being vulnerable and being genuine and sharing who I am authentically and unapologetically. And I got into a romantic relationship, as one does when they want to screw up their life. No, I'm just kidding. But really, I got into a romantic relationship, which is something that I thought at the time, based on what I knew about romance, which to be honest was not a lot. I did not have good role models in romance. I did not have any sort of healthy relationship to look for. I feel like in society, this would also have been deemed as a normal, healthy relationship, but not something that I would want for myself. So that's hindsight. Hindsight is 2020, right? So I actually got into this relationship with high hopes. I was my genuine self. And this person, while I am grateful for having a relationship with them because of how much I learned, and I wish no ill will to this person, because of their belief system, they believed that what I was doing was demonic. The tarot that I had done for so many years to help so many of you, the lives that I had positively changed for the better because of tarot, and what I believe in my own version of spirituality, which no hate on Christianity or any religion like that at all whatsoever. And I feel like his idea system was very extreme. And I don't believe that all Christians are like this or anything at all whatsoever, okay? But he kept putting a label on what I was doing despite it helping people, despite it being good overall. And I became very isolated in this relationship with him, and I did not realize it, but his friends, his family, his community that all shared that mindset became the people that loved and supported me and were around me, but did not support what I did. And it was very hard because I am a very spiritual person and I find myself connected to God or my higher self. And I am not Christian personally, and I let him know that going into the relationship. And he took no problem with that at the beginning. But I do believe in God. It's just my own definition of what God is and spirit. And I'm not here to push my beliefs on anybody. And I didn't really like that he pushed his on me and that his way was the right way and the only way. And I know it was probably done out of concern and not wanting me to go to hell and things like that, but I don't personally believe in that. And I believe that hell, in the version of that, is something that you can create for yourself. And to be honest, I kind of created my own hell for myself by giving up a big part of me and what made me me. And that is why this has been so hard to do, because on my channel, I always have wanted to be very real. And I've always wanted to be someone who practiced what I preached. And when I started giving up parts of myself that were who I was authentically because of fear of judgment of somebody that I loved very deeply, I gave up loving myself in that point. And that was something that was very hard to admit to myself. It's something that caused me to not want to come back to tarot for a long time, because there was one point in the relationship, not very far into it, by the way. So it wasn't like I was living this double life while I was giving advice, because I'm not going to give advice to people to love themselves and then do the opposite myself, even if that is not something I consciously realized at the time, which it wasn't. I didn't know, I didn't realize I was self-sacrificing and doing something that was very toxic and detrimental to myself. I ended up having lots of conversations about spirituality with him, things like that. And eventually he had convinced me that I needed to delete my tarot channel. Now, he never said I needed to delete my tarot channel. This was my decision on my part, and I'm not putting that blame on him. I'm not playing the victim. This was my own decision out of the conversations that we had but it is what I believed through his kind of coercion a little bit of his mindset or his explanation of his beliefs and saying that like this is the only way kind of thing. Well, that doesn't really leave a lot of opportunity or option because I was believing him. I ended up deleting the channel. I didn't really offer anybody an explanation, and I want to apologize for that because I don't think it's fair to just ghost and disappear in terms of that. I know there are times that we do that in our life to protect our own peace and self-respect, but this was not a time where I feel that that was appropriate to do to you all. So I want to apologize for that. But at the same time, I'm very happy that this happened to me. And not to mitigate the apology or anything, I am sorry. And I do not feel that that was right to do from the bottom of my heart. And I will... Oh, it's okay? Oh, thanks, Hankers. No. So, I am sorry. Hi, baby. Hi. So, I am happy that it happened, though, because during that time, I went through a very deep transformational process in these past years of finding out who I truly am, going through a lot of this kind of energy with this storm outside. You see, this is 4th of July. And look how green the sky looks, and there's like lightning. Yeah, very good stormy, spooky vibes. I'm enjoying it. It feels like it's fitting for all the emotions and the tumultuous energy I went through. The tower moments, right, Hankers? Yes, all the tower moments. You were there with me the whole time. I ended up having a very transformative life experience through that relationship and the relationships I've had after, including the one with myself. I spent a long time single. I spent a long time learning who I am, who I'm meant to be, finding my way in the world, and I honestly really, really, really struggled up until very recently with doing what I love and being true to who I am, despite what those that I love around me say and what they think, and if they support it or not, if they judge me or not. The only one who is not judgmental, this guy right here, this sweetie patootie cutie pie. But my family does not support me. When I did tarot originally, they did not support me doing it until I was successful. And I know they're just thinking that they want, me to make a good way to make money, for me to be stable. And when I was successful, and so successful because of you guys, so thank you. When I was so successful and my channel got so big because of y'all, and I had so many returning clients, and I just had this wonderful support, that is when my family showed me support, and it never felt genuine. They did not care if I was happy. They only cared if I was financially stable. And I know that this is a common thing in our society because a lot of times parents are just seeing where their dreams went unfulfilled and things like that, and they project that onto you, and they feel like this is what society says, this is what the American dream is, all those things of this is what you should do. But only you know what you should do, and only I know what I should do deep down inside. And I had to refine that and dig it back out because it got buried again. It got buried through other people's expectations, other people's judgments, and me looking and searching for other people's validation and love. I switched from a point of where I was loving myself to falling back down the ladder and looking for love through other people. And it's an easy switch to do, especially if you're not being very conscious of it. And it's something that you have to stay on top of. And that's something that I've learned the hard way, through the relationships that I've attracted, through the friendships I've attracted, through the times on my own. It has been a hard thing to come to and accept. And it's also a very hard thing to come out and be genuine and be genuinely yourself when everyone tells you that's what you shouldn't be, and that's weird, and that's wrong, and that's not good, when it is the thing that I am the best at. I am meant to be a tarot reader and astrologer. There is nothing that has fulfilled my soul more than helping you guys, than giving you guys the advice that you need. I still remember to this day all the lovely comments that I got, all the lovely connections that I made with each and every one of you. Like, they still touch me to this day. The stories you would tell me about the predictions that I made, and how, I'm not going to get into personal details, but some of those stories are so personal and so intense and so incredible that I still wow myself, because, like, how do I know those things? Like, I don't. It's spirit and it comes through me, but I am impressed with my own channeling ability and how accurate it can be. And that is my talent. It is my talent, and it is so hard to come to a point where you accept and love yourself when everyone you love and care about around you tells you that it is wrong and does not support it and does not care for it and does not want you to do it. When they fake support you only when you're doing well. It is very hard to come to terms with that. And it is hard to come to terms with getting to a place where you do not need other people's validation, other people's love, because you have loved yourself properly enough. And I have gotten to that point, and I am ready to restart my tarot journey. And if you don't feel like watching me again, that's completely fine. And I thank you for when you did watch me. I hope that you will, but I'm okay if you don't. I'm going to do this because this is genuinely what I want to do with my life, even if nobody watches me. It is what I am good at. It is my talent. It is my skill. It is how I feel I shine. I have always felt on my purpose when I've done tarot. I even tried to restart tarot during those years, from that gap of 2019, beginning of 2020 to now. There were times where I tried to restart it on TikTok or on YouTube again, but I tried to change the name. And I felt like the name change was also like because I felt guilty and not wanting to come to terms or be vulnerable with what I had done to myself, my passion, my channel. And I'm glad those times it didn't work out, because I was really not loving myself truly. I was afraid to be who I really am. And I've discovered a lot of things about myself in the meantime that have explained a lot of this, that have explained why I'm so weird and different from other people, and have led to more of a radical acceptance of that. I actually learned I'm autistic. I knew I was ADHD. That's been diagnosed and taken care of, but I am autistic. And I had a really hard time with that, with like my internalized ableism as well, which I didn't even realize I had, because I don't judge others for having autism, but I judged myself and I was harsh on myself, and I felt like there was something wrong with me because I had that, instead of it being something that is normal or different or to be celebrated or special. But that's probably part of the reason I'm so good at tarot, is because I have that built-in pattern recognition and intuition, and I have the empathy to connect with other people. And I didn't think I had it for the longest time, and I didn't think that that could be a real thing for me. But apparently, because of how women are socialized, you can have good social skills. And that's where I was like, well, that doesn't make sense for me, because I have good social skills. I'm good at socializing and talking to other people, so I can't be on the autism spectrum. That's not for me. It couldn't be. And then I started reading into the actual diagnosis for women, and I got diagnosed because I fit every single thing, and I just happened to be somebody who was high masking, high functioning. I didn't realize that it's not exactly normal for when you're having a conversation in your head, you're going through a script. I think about how long is appropriate to hold eye contact with someone. I think about how I should respond and at what is the most likely thing that will make them feel comfortable. I didn't realize that I'm looking at, in my head, how my body is, how I'm holding myself, how I am appearing to the people that are perceiving me. When I talk, what tone I use. I literally am going through the script in my head based on each person I'm interacting with, that is real time, kind of like a computer program going through. And I've gotten so good at it and so used to it But that's not really how other people handle conversations. They just talk to people. I am analyzing everything all the time to understand how to appropriately handle the situation and to socialize in a natural and good way, which, not normal, apparently. So, there's a lot of other things that have led to that. My sensory, I guess I would say heightened senses, like my incredible sense of smell, hearing, sight, things like that. I have above average for all of those, but those also trigger meltdowns, and I have sensory issues. I have trouble socializing and making friends, even though I know how to socialize, but it's hard for me to make friends by being myself, because myself is not normal and weird. I make noises all the time. I do weird stuff. Like, I know it's not necessarily what is neurotypical. So that's been a big part of my self-discovery and self-acceptance, and learning that about myself, and kind of dealing with the struggles of that, and how to fit into a world where I don't fit in. And I don't fit the mold of what a life is supposed to look like. And that's not a bad thing. That's something that's good, but I'm going to have to find my own way in the world. And I want to find my way doing what makes me happy. And I already know what that is. I know it's tarot. I know it's astrology. I study it so hardcore, it's not even funny, and I've never stopped. I love it so much. It is so interesting to me. It is so validating, connecting. I just feel alive and I feel right when I'm doing it. So it's something that I'm coming back to, and I do hope that you'll support me in this journey. But if you want to support other readers, I'm all down for that too. And I just wanted to say that I love you guys, I miss you, and I wanted to thank you for all the support that you guys gave me during those years when I was doing Apuchee Tarot, because those are the best years that I've had in my life, hands down, by far. Not to invalidate the other years or anything like that, but I just felt so loved and accepted for being me. And it's because I chose to love and accept me and really live my truth online. And even though I didn't know all the aspects of myself intimately, and I kind of fell out of that, it was still such a magical time in my life because of y'all's support, because of the friendships that I built, because of the fan base that I built, because of just being able to share things with like-minded people that I haven't had that experience with in my own life. I still to this day do not have a friend, do not have a relationship, and do not have family relationships that truly love and support all aspects of me. And that's something that's been really hard, but it's led to me loving and validating myself. And I'm not saying those people don't love me in their own way, but there is not unconditional love in my life, and there's not unconditional acceptance. And I only have one friendship from high school, and honestly, it has some things that are not healthy. And honestly, it was kind of a one-sided friendship when it was there anyway. And while I want to rekindle that and grow that, sometimes it's hard when it's one way or one-sided. So I have to kind of like let those things go and be genuine to me. And I just need to honor myself. And having you guys through that time in my life, that was the first time that I've felt like I've made friends, like that loved and accepted the odd parts of me, because I am very genuinely myself on camera. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I will be weird. I'll make the weird noises, I'll make the weird jokes, I'll just be my unmasked self, and I will tell you the truth, and I will keep it real. But it just felt really nice having people that appreciated and loved that about me. Like, that was one of the best feelings in the world. So thank you all for that. I hope that you guys will join me on my journey moving forward, but if not, I feel good about having the opportunity to apologize to you for abandoning myself and abandoning you. And I'm sorry. I love you guys. Thank you for listening, and I hope to see you in the future. Love you. Bye. Happy to be back.